But first up on The Beat Goes On.
He's got a voice like solid gold and a twinkle in his eye. And keeping that eye firmly placed on our parliamentarian buddies is Tony Amos. We welcome Tony and the weekly political roundup.
Tony Amos.
Hello, Jared.
Politics.
Politics, indeed. Politics, the global gutter of life. Yes, the story of the oddballs and misfits that we know as Parliament. And we like to keep an eye on them, don't we?
What's happening out there in our wonderful world, Tony?
There's a bit out there in the world, isn't there? I see the United Nations are handing out 157,000 bravery awards. You know that? Yes, for every passenger who flew on an Airbus yesterday. And there's a bit more out there in the world too. Shonky Jonky, our Prime Minister, Shonky Jonky, has been on his Pacific tour and he's become known as Hula Boy. He's been dancing, yes, fresh from his dancing at the Big Gay Out with his two favourite trannies. He's been in the Pacific doing the happy hula, and he seems to have an uncanny natural talent to dance in that manner. So yeah, on your Shonky. Don't know if it's the right image, but good on you, Shonky.
We see that Winston is making an appearance.
The Right Honourable Winston Peters, yes, he's clambered back onto the political stage, and he's done it in partnership, if you like, with the revised seabed and foreshore laws. Yes, because they're going to change the seabed and foreshore legislation, the controversial stuff that the last Labor government changed. It's going to be changed again. That's right, it's going to be taken away from public ownership and given to Maori ownership and guardianship. And the Prime Minister, Shonky Jonky, has told us, or Hula Boy, he's told us that there will be no compensation involved. So if you're a member of the public and you're about to lose your rights to the beach, don't expect any compensation at all from Shonky Jonky and his team. It's called separatism. I mean, we spent most of our lives, Jared, being told to live as one. Now we're being told to live in sort of separate existences. It's a bit hard to follow and swallow sometimes.
We need a Nelson Mandela in this country.
Oh, yes, we do. We do need a Nelson. We need, exactly that. We need leadership, don't we, eh?
Anyway, what about Hamilton and no free seats available for those Scotsmen sitting on their roofs?
It's a funny old thing, isn't it, eh? Yes, one of the great boy racer promotions ever, which is what it's all about, the V8 motor racing, because they had that in Hamilton through the streets of Hamilton just a month or two ago. And what happened? Well, a lot of people who lived in the area climbed up onto the roofs of their houses and watched the racing. Great idea, Scotsman stands, as you say. But what's happened? Well, the cock of the week this week is the Mayor of Hamilton and his councillors. They've been dishing out fines, some of them for $1,500, for those people who climbed onto their roofs to watch the motor racing in their streets, disrupting their neighbourhoods. So the Mayor of Hamilton, he's cock of the week. In fact, I feel so strongly about it, I think he's more than cock of the week. I'd like to apply the female gender version and say he's a right hen.
Oh, talking about the cock and the hen, of course, men are becoming obsolete. Did you read, Tony?
Well, it's been a long time coming, if you pardon the bad pun, hasn't it, Jared? Really, I mean, what have we men been here to do besides the dishes on the lawns and wash the cars and pay taxes? Of course, we are the living, giving sperm donors of life, aren't we, eh? And we carry that mantle proudly, most of us. However, bad news, fellas, bad news for us, Jared, because scientists can now create sperm, fake sperm, if you like, from embryonic stem cells. Now, this is outrageous, and apparently it works. And I spoke to local expert spermatologist, Gay Felcher, and asked her opinion. And she said, well, this new sperm looks okay, but it does taste different. And of course that leads us back into Parliament, just by chance. Yes, Parliament, the home of the oddballs and misfits. In Parliament, where the Speaker, Lockjaw Smith, recently got married to a woman. That's right. Well, there's another MP, a List MP, and he's got engaged. He wants to marry his loved one as well. Got engaged very proudly, but his loved one, she's keen to start a family. So she asked him to get a sperm count done. So he said, sure enough, went off to the doctor. The doctor said, yes, we can do a sperm count. Here's a jar, gave him a jar. Take that home, bring it back tomorrow, and with a sample, and we'll do the sperm count. Next day, 10 o'clock, the List MP arrived back at the doctor's surgery with an empty jar. And the doctor said, what's with the empty jar? And he said, well, look, doctor, he said, I tried. He said, I did my best. He said, I tried. He said, I used my left hand. He said, I used my right hand. He said, I used both hands. He said, I even had my fiancée take her teeth out and try and help as well. But try as we could, doctor, there was no way in the world we could get the lid off that jar. That's politics. See you next week.
He's out there in the rain. He's out